Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's the first time I've had the opportunity to do a very quick little summary of Thursday night's game against Dynamo Zagreb. I know it's really late. Hasn't been well the last couple of days. Me and my daughter had the bad stomach and all that classics. So I haven't had time, just caring for looking after myself. It's the first time I've had the opportunity to do it. Will be two videos from me today. Obviously, this is a very quick summary. You've all seen the game now and you've had your opinions on it. But I thought it's only fair, as a channel and as subscribers, you would have expected me to put a little mini review out. So here it is. So the game finished 1-0 against Dynamo Zagreb in the last game of the Europa League group stage on Thursday night. In a much changed 11 for us, as expected, with the young boys out there, Longello, Ashby, Alessi, Baptiste, Perkins all starting that game, with Crowl, Noble, Yarmolenko and Fodell also started in that game, and Ariola started in that game. Obviously, we started not too great. An absolute wonder goal. There's no denying it. No goalkeeper in the world, I don't think, is saving that strike. From Orsic, a guy I picked out, arguably the best player, arguably one of the best players in that league as well, in their league. Absolute super strike. Nothing Ariola could do. The only thing you could probably say is maybe the fullback could have closed down a bit quicker. But again, you're still not expecting him to absolutely whip this absolute ridiculous goal in. From there, we looked fairly solid. We didn't really massively fret after that. I know Ariola pulled off a really good save at one point in the game, but again, it's not too much about the game and the performance. It's more about going forward as youngsters. What youngsters really impressed me in that game. Harrison Ashby. Every time I've seen that young man play, he looks ready. He really does look ready. It's just unfortunate for him that he's a right back, where you've got Sufal, who's excellent. Ben Johnson has obviously stepped up another level this year. And then obviously you've got Fredericks behind him. So I do believe someone like Ashby has a future at the club. I really do. He looks a really top player. His delivery was so good in that game, and he was always there and always looked confident on the ball, attacking wise. A big fan of Harrison Ashby. Obviously on the other side, a position that we need to be looking at, the left hand side. Obviously Cresswell started to pick up a few injuries recently. He's been fantastic in terms of delivery and in terms of how he's gone on as a player, Cresswell, in the last couple of years. But he is approaching that sort of 31, 30. I think he's 31 now, maybe 32. And obviously Masuaku is not fancied by Moyes. And I still think we'll buy a left back at some point, even if it's not the summer or in January. But that Longello was brilliant, I thought. Really tall for a fullback as well. Usually fullbacks quite short. Really tall and dominant. Started a little bit tiny shaky. Same with people jumping on. I think, was it Alessi that took a really bad touch right at the beginning? He's a young lad and it's his debut, but come on, this is a huge step up. And I think it's really harsh to jump on someone who's just, had a bad touch in their first touch. It's going to happen. I thought the defence played really well. Like I say, they only conceded that absolute worldie. Apart from that, I thought they looked quite dominant after that. I don't want to see them in the Premier League yet. I don't think they're quite ready for that yet. But they looked okay. They looked solid. Like I say, there was no real sloppiness from them. They were quite confident on the ball. Perkins was a bit isolated throughout the game. I think, did he have one decent chance in that game? But listen, it's very hard to judge a young player when they're not playing with the elite players. Like someone like when Declan Rice comes through. Declan Rice is playing with the first 11. These young boys are playing with other young boys, and obviously, eventually, in a man's game, eventually, they will see the better of you. I'd like to see Ashby play in the first 11. I think he would do a good job in there. I think Longello could fill in if needed at times. I'm not saying play the whole back four. That's not, under no illusion would that be. But one of them, at a time coming in, I'm not against that. I think there's some decent players in there as well. Obviously, we see, I think his name was Forson, was it, or Forsan? he come on. Didn't really see too much of him, and obviously young Potts come on as well, which was nice to see another Potts, the third one to come through. Nice to see him come on as well. In terms of the first teamers, I thought Ariola did well. You know, pulled off some really good saves. There's nothing he could do with the goal. Noble, you know, nice to see him with the youngsters. You know, always sort of guiding them through the game. He was talking to them a lot. You know, pulling them in and pushing them out, which was really, really good. Yarmolenko, I don't want to see him in a West Ham shirt ever again. I really don't. He's so lazy. He's half-hearted. I just don't like him anymore. I don't know. He was a fantastic player back in the day. You know, Man United would look at him like 4 or 5 years ago. He's on a hell of a lot of money. I believe around 150, 145 grand a week. And he just, you know, get him out in January. Just get him out. He doesn't offer nothing. Apart from that left foot wand every now and then. But no, it's just not good enough. I think Krau. Also, a lot of harsh criticism for him on Twitter. Again, it's back to that. You need to see him in there with Rice. You need to see him in there with Souček, not, you know, an aging Mark Noble and kids around him. You need to, you know, he needs to be given a chance with the other players around. I thought he was quite busy in midfield. I thought he was trying to win the ball back. But yeah, again, until I see him with the first teamers, I'm reserving judgment on him. I'm reserving judgment. Vlasic, I thought that was one of his better games for us as well. You know, really tried to make things happen. Again, question marks with him. Again, I don't question anything with Moyes anymore because we see it with Ben Rahman, we see it with Fornells before him. With Vlasic, the only question mark I will have with him, and you guys, would be interesting to see what you guys think. What is his position? That's my question mark with you. I can't see him as a striker. Is he a cam? Is he a left wing? Is he a right attacking mid, left attacking mid? That's my only concern with him. Is what is his position? Where would you play him? Who else? Obviously Fornells did what he can. He didn't really get much of the ball. Ben Rama, again, I didn't even want to see these guys come on. You know, there was no need for them to come on. We have gone through. We knew that already. We knew he was guaranteed top, and we've gone through with Dynamo Zagreb. Some really good teams that have gone through to the next round. Some really good teams, and you know, I can't wait till March now. You know, roll on March. Hopefully, you know, we're still in good form. Get some players back. Hopefully, get some really good players in January to really push us on through them next rounds. Obviously, you've seen, guys, there's some massive teams like your Barcelonas that have obviously dropped in now. I believe Dortmund have dropped in as well. Obviously, Seville, you know, massive pedigree in this competition. I wouldn't want them. You know, when people are asking, oh, Luke, who do you want? Yeah, you'd love to play Barcelona. Yeah, you'd love to play Dortmund. And I think, you know, over 2 legs, maybe, you know, I'd fancy us over 2 legs. Seville, I don't know. Seville's one that actually, they're one of them teams, you know, they've just got that cup pedigree and they know how to win this competition. They've done it so many times. That'd be one club I wouldn't really want to fancy. Obviously, Leicester went out as well, so we're the only English team in it. I believe Celtic went through, so they're obviously the other British team. So yeah, it's nice, it's exciting. We've got to wait a long time for our draw though, because obviously the draw for the last 32, I believe, is next week at some point, and obviously those games have to be played before the next draw is made. So we've got a long time to wait before that draw. But yeah, good times. It's been a fun competition so far, a long may it continue. And, you know, and if we do go out in the last 16, I do believe we'll be in it next year at least. I do. I think if the top 4 campaign, you know, drifts away, or we start getting a little bit tired towards the end, or, you know, just some injuries start cranking up, or the teams below start getting results, I still believe, you know, we will finish in the top 6. I do. Worst case scenario, 7th, and then you're in the Conference League. I do think there'll be European football at West Ham again next season as well. But again, there's still so much of this season to play. But just, it's nice, isn't it? Nice to enjoy West Ham at the moment. Anyway, hit the like button, guys. Sorry this was late. Like I say, myself and my daughter wasn't too well this week. So I had to delay it. I didn't want to put it, you know, I didn't want to do it whilst I didn't look too well. Anyway, I'll be back probably in about an hour or so with the Burnley preview, and I can't wait for that game. Until next time, guys, come on, you eyes, keep believing. Let's go.